Joe and Mary 3. After Emma went to college, Joe and Mary found themselves alone in the blue house for the first time in years. The quiet was strange at first. The kind of quiet that makes you notice every creak of the floorboards, every soft patting of the cats around the rooms. But gradually, they grew to love it. They filled it with new routines. Saturday mornings were for coffee on the porch, sometimes reading newspapers, sometimes just sitting in silence while the sun edged up over the rooftops. The cats, older now, moved slower, demanding attention in soft, insistent ways. Luna had a favorite armchair that she refused to share. Milo spent most of his time sunbathing by the front window. And Misty, now a dignified adult, still had bursts of kitten-like chaos that made Joe and Mary laugh. They kept the small rituals alive, feeding the cats together, taking them for short walks in the yard, brushing them while listening to the radio. Joe spent more hours at the shop than before, fixing motors, tuning bikes, building things no one asked for but everyone appreciated. Mary, meanwhile, poured herself into the shelter. She developed a program for foster kittens and found homes for strays that had been languishing. She'd sometimes drag Joe along, whether he wanted to or not, to meet the newest recruits. Joe would grumble, but inevitably fall in love with whichever animal needed him. They traveled a little, mostly short trips to the countryside or to visit Mary's parents. Her dad still played guitar, older and slower, but the songs sounded sweeter with the years behind them. Her mom's laughter had softened but still had the same warmth. Joe's parents were always there too, older now, leaning a little more on Joe but proud of the life he and Mary had built. Then came small surprises Emma called more often than she had from college, bringing stories of friends, projects, late-night mishaps. One Christmas, she showed up with a tiny baby in her arms. Joe and Mary blinked in disbelief and then laughed until tears ran down their faces. Their granddaughter, Clara, became part of the household rhythm immediately. The cats were curious, a little wary, but protective in their own feline way. Life wasn't all easy. Mary had a bout of illness that scared them both. Joe's back never fully healed, and he had to slow down more than he liked. There were quiet evenings when they sat together, holding hands, neither speaking, the weight of time pressing in. But there was comfort in that too. Years of knowing each other, trusting each other, leaning on each other without words. They celebrated milestones in small, meaningful ways. Anniversaries were marked not with flashy gifts, but with long walks, shared meals, and reminiscing about the early days Luna in the crate, rainy mornings, the first walks down the street together. They watched their family grow, quietly proud of the life they'd nurtured. Emma flourishing in her work and motherhood. Friends and neighbors feeling welcomed into their home. While the cats still ruling the roost as if the years had only sharpened their authority. In the evenings, they'd sit on the porch, sometimes with a blanket, sometimes with a hot drink, sometimes just in silence. They'd watch the sun slip behind the trees, hear the distant hum of the town settling down, and feel the steady pulse of a life well lived. Occasionally, they would laugh about something trivial, something the cats did, something Joe had built, something Mary had rescued. Those were the moments that mattered, the little stitches in the tapestry of their shared life. And they talked, too, about the past. The mistakes they'd made, the choices they hadn't known would matter so much. And about the future, though never in grand terms, just hopes, small dreams, ways to keep making life lighter for each other and their family. That was the essence of their love. Steady, patient, enduring, not perfect, never perfect, but deeply human. Sometimes, late at night, Mary would wake to find Joe awake too, sitting quietly in the kitchen, watching the clock or tinkering with some old project. She'd sit with him, sometimes talk, sometimes just hold his hand. They didn't need words to feel the years behind them, the weight of all the mornings and evenings spent together. It was enough to be side by side, to know the other was there. Even as the cats grew older, slower, and Emma's children began to make the house noisier and livelier, the rhythm persisted. Joe and Mary had learned that life's beauty wasn't in the grand moments, it was in showing up, over and over, in small ways. A hand on the shoulder, a shared smile, a quiet laugh, or a cat purring at their feet. And as the years stretched on, that steady, patient love became more than romance. It became home. It became a story whispered in every corner of the house, in every meal shared, in the soft purring of a cat, in the laughter of a child. The life they had built was imperfect, yes, and fragile, yes, but it was theirs. And that was enough.